everyone. Welcome back to the KLT Fitcast. My name is Kate. This is Josh. And this is the podcast where we ask and answer the tough questions. Today is all about you.
Mm-hmm. If anyone's listened to any other of the podcasts, they'll know how hard it is for me to even introduce myself. This is going to be a fucking adventure.
Perfect. This podcast came about, I've been thinking it for a long while.
Probably since our sex episode where your skin
Even
was...
before that, like, you are so good at asking questions that, I don't know, make people and make me think long and hard. I guess that it comes with the territory of your work.
Mm-hmm. And, just some of the shit that I've been through in my life, I guess.
Yeah, so I think it's time for me and us to, I keep saying pepper you with questions, but just come at you with some questions. So I have a long list of questions. I think in true Josh fashion, you're going to answer multiple questions within one answer.
Yeah.
Knowing you. And I also have some viewer questions.
Sure you do.
I do. I actually do.
Okay.
So it feels like it could be kind of random.
The random episodes tend to be the most fun.
Yeah, but I'm just going to ask you a lot of questions and you're going to answer them the best you can.
Yeah. So disclaimer, if you don't want to get to know Josh in any more capacity.
They do. We put the poll out.
Turn this off right now.
So I guess let's start with, I am going to have my phone with me because that's where my list of questions are.
Sure.
Also, another disclaimer, we are both of us kind of working through getting over a cold. So I feel like I sound really nasally.
Yeah.
And nothing is worse.
Way more sick than I am now.
Nothing is worse than hearing people sniffle. So I'm really sorry if the mic picks up any sniffles, but I'm not going to be blowing my nose on camera.
Hopefully you don't have any gross stuff come out.
Nice. Okay, so before we start, is there anything you want to talk about and share before?
No, I have a hard enough time saying
Perfect.
I'm Kate's husband and I've been along for the ride, so.
So what we know about Josh, he's really into sports. He works in mental health, has a nursing background and a social work background, and is a large part of the reason that the lights stay on at this gym.
Yeah.
If we were to, what is your job title on the banking stuff for the gym?
Administrative and operations manager.
Yeah. So you needed a role for it.
Yeah.
We often say the reason that you guys have really great workouts is because of us as trainers here. But the reason that you have bookings and that you have options for bookings through our booking app.
To pay.
Or if you get paid by us, the reason you get paid is all because of Josh. And you have no real background in that.
No.
That's just one of those little, I don't want to say useless because that is so wrong, but one of those things that you're oddly good at.
I'm just full of those things that are only useful in very specific circumstances. Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Sure.
When you were a kid, what did you think being strong meant? And has that definition changed?
When I was a kid, strength was my dad.
Nice.
And the reason I say that is he was very fit.
Yep.
He was a construction worker, and when he would flex, you would see muscle, and he took really good care of himself. And that shows now because he can still get around pretty well and is still pretty fit. And yeah, I think that when I was a kid and I thought about strength, it meant muscle strong.
Nice.
And that has changed as I've gotten older. I see strength. Yes, there is the physical component, but there's also a mental component to strength.
Nice.
And you need both of those to actually be a truly strong person.
To be strong. Um, okay. What did young Josh need most that he maybe didn't get? And how does that show up in the man you are now?
Hmm. Meds? No.
Wow. Those
Um,
ADHD meds.
yeah, that's a tough question. I think like stability probably is one that comes to mind for me.
Can you talk about that a little more?
I think like from around age 10 until 17, my childhood was pretty unstable. My parents did not get along super well at all. They, in fact, fought a lot. There were police that got involved a number of times. There was a number of really nasty court child custody battles. Um, and it was hard to be a preteen, teen, and then an older teen throughout all of that. And I think looking back on my life, a formative time for me was my age 15, 16 years, where I was living with my dad and his girlfriend at the time, my brother and sister, and her two kids. And that was the most stable I had felt since I was a very young child.
Hmm. Um, so how does that show up in who you are now?
I think that I do well when, like, I can live well both in an unstable and stable environment. So,
What are you saying about our marriage? I'm just
no,
kidding.
I'm not saying anything about our marriage. I'm saying that what I think I notice is I can see problems happening before they happen,
Yeah.
and try really hard to be preventative of them in my life
Yeah.
so that I can create my own stability. I think it made me learn how to be a bit more self-sufficient
Hmm.
and true to myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, something about you that most people misunderstand?
I'm a pretty direct speaker. And I think that, and maybe I'm just a more of a direct person overall. And I think that people can see that sometimes as off putting. I tend to say what's on my mind without a whole lot of filter, and that can make people feel really uncomfortable, both personally and professionally.
Okay. Yeah. Um, so now I would like to spin the script to you in your mental health hat.
Hmm.
Spin the social work lens on things.
Yeah.
You sit with people in their hardest moments.
Hmm.
How's that changed the way you approach your own life?
Yes and no. I think that working in the field that I work in, and also working with people that are, for the most part, experiencing some sort of acute crisis or decline in mental health and really not living their best life, I think that can change your world perception over time if you don't do things to protect yourself. And so the way it's changed me is in how I work to protect myself and have a real clear identity of who I am.
Okay.
And I do a lot of things in order to disconnect from the complex stuff that I deal with at work, but also um, connect with myself.
Speaking of disconnecting,
Mhm.
um, why do you think so many people disconnect from their bodies, especially when it comes to fitness, health?
I think that a lot of times people can struggle with the internal who I am and it being different than the external who I am or the physical.
Okay.
So I think what happens for a lot of people is they start to identify with the way in which they think and perceive the world.
Okay.
And that becomes who they are, whether it's mental illness, poor mental health, or whatnot, that becomes their identity. And it's not the physical. So they start to disconnect from their physical body because it's when you internalize everything, it's really hard to feel the external.
Right. Okay. If people treated their mental health the way they treated their fitness goals, what would change? Would anything change?
I think,
And I think we can look at this from both ends of the spectrum. There are the people who steer heavily into their fitness goals, or there's people who avoid their fitness goals.
yeah, and I think for the most part that is actually true with mental health. There are people that are emotionally intelligent enough to recognize that they need to do things for their own mental well-being and will focus on that and make it a priority. And then I think there are people that know that they need to do these things and don't. And then I think there are people that just have no idea that they need to do these things. And so they're not addressing the
Right.
problems that are happening because of the way they're perceiving the world or thinking about things or talking to themselves or whatever.
Can you explain? This is a written in,
Yeah,
a send in question. Can you explain how exercise is a natural mood elevator?
sure. I
Do
mean,
you know who this one came from?
no.
No, it's
Mm.
from Lori.
Hey, Lori, thanks for this one. I think it depends on how complex you want me to get in answering this question, but I think in a simple way of thinking about it, if your mood is low, your energy level is low, and you don't feel like doing anything, that becomes a cycle and a reinforcing cycle of you're just not doing anything. When you do something and feel a sense of accomplishment, even if it's very minor, it's likely to elevate your mood and you're going to feel more energy.
Hmm.
I don't know.
And that's a fucked up concept for a lot of people to understand, that you
Yeah,
will actually have more energy.
if you move your body.
Yeah.
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 And I think in a biological sense, there are chemicals that are released in your body that directly affect your brain chemistry when you work, which will improve your mood.
Um, so I feel like you kind of already answered this one. How does or how can poor physical health or a sedentary lifestyle impact mental health? I think it's kind of what we just.
Yeah. I also think, just to add on to that a little bit, I think it's important to say that if you have a healthy mind, you're likely to have a healthy body. And if you have a healthy body, you're likely to have a healthy mind.
Put it very simply, yeah. Would you say that you work out? And when I say work out, I mean strength train,
Mhm.
because you have to.
A little bit of yes and a little bit of no.
Okay.
It definitely is something in my mind that feels like a chore. And there are times when it's the absolute last thing I want to do, especially if I've been up until like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning because I played hockey the night before and need to be at the gym at 7 o'clock because I have to get to work for 8 kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that that's a mental challenge for me and something that I often find myself trying to work to reframe. But also, it's something that I want to do for myself because I feel better after every
Mm-hmm.
workout,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel physically stronger, and I'm less likely to be injured doing the things that I love to do.
So do you feel differently about sports like hockey and baseball than you do about strength training and workouts?
Yes, but there's a really solid reason for that. I am someone that recharges their battery when I am social,
Uh-huh.
meaning I need to be around other people in order for my internal "I feel good about life" battery to
What does that
recharge.
feel like?
Yeah, well, that's called being an extrovert.
Oh, oh, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Um, how has hockey shaped the way that you handle discipline or discomfort?
This is something that I actually was talking with someone about the other day. So in hockey, I'm a goalie, and there is a really strong parallel to how I approach being a goalie to how I approach life. And that is, when I'm in net, I am only responsible and I can only control the next save, trying to do my best to make the next save.
Mhm.
I can't control the goal that just went in. It went in. There's nothing I can do to change that. I have to let it go. But I can focus enough to try and make that next save. And in life, I I look at life in a similar way where the only thing I control is the next thing that I need to do.
I think a lot of people could and should sit with that exact statement that you just made. And chances are they can probably relate that to a long list of things in their own lives, even right now, their next move throughout the day.
Yeah. It's the
Um,
only thing you have control over. You can beat yourself up about all the things that you should have done,
yeah.
but that does nothing for you.
So what happens when a goal goes in, when you let a goal in?
I give myself a second to be mad,
Pity party?
pity
Very brief
party.
pity party?
Yeah, I might like smack my stick if I'm really frustrated because I really thought I should have done something different.
Hmm.
Then I'll either go for a skate or I'll take a drink of my water, turn around, take a breath, and I'm ready to go.
Okay. Um, I think the next two actually we've kind of already covered, but worth it to touch on again. What's your least favorite thing about working out? And be completely honest.
I would say my least favorite thing about working out is waking up to work out.
Okay, so if things were different, if you didn't have an 8 to 4, an 8:30 to 4:30 job, and we didn't have a gym that had bookings all day long.
Mhm. I'd probably work out in the evenings. I'd be an evening workout person because that's also when I'm more active.
Okay.
Like I play all of my
Yeah.
sports
Yeah.
pretty much in the evening.
Yeah. Um, okay, so least favorite thing would be the hour of the day that you
That
currently, yes, currently
I
have
have to
to.
work out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
the only way it fits into my schedule.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I make it happen even though it's hard for me.
Um, there's a right answer and a wrong answer for the next one.
Sure.
When you don't feel like working out, what keeps you consistent?
Usually you.
Good. That's the right answer.
Yeah.
And why? Like talk about that, because I don't even know if a lot of viewers would know what your training looks like right now.
Yeah, so I come in twice a week for personal training with
Yeah.
you. Like you've designed my workouts and you put me through hell
Yeah.
and back a couple of times a week. That's what my strength training looks like right now. And when I offer up an excuse to miss a session, all of your frustration for anyone else that might have missed a session in the last couple of weeks comes out on me. And it's both good and bad. I feel terrible about missing, so I try really hard not to miss.
And you say, I am doing exactly what
I
is so frustrating
Yeah,
from people sometimes.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Because often it's that I don't have a great excuse. It's just that I'm tired because I was up really late
Mhm.
and don't feel like I have the physical push in me. And it's funny because every time that I just decide to come anyway, I find a way to have that push eventually.
Right.
Even if it starts out really slow,
Well, I think
ends up being good.
I posted, you did, I guess it was Thursday.
Boxing.
Yeah. And the first round, you were like kind of slogging through it. And I
Yeah.
think I recorded the first round and the fourth round. And even just the difference in that 3 minutes from round one to round four was a
Yeah.
huge difference in your energy level. And you could see like the cobwebs were,
Coming out.
yeah.
Yeah. And I
Um,
had like 4.5 hours sleep that night because we won our semifinal game in a shootout, and I was like
in case you missed it,
jacked way up.
folks, he plays
Yeah.
hockey.
I was pretty jacked that night.
If you've
Couldn't
currently
sleep.
watched the latest season of Love is Blind, Josh is the soccer guy. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Wow.
You don't even know the
I have no
significance of
idea what
that.
that means.
um, can you talk? Can I talk
Sure.
about your strength training? There is a beeping truck outside.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's annoying. It just stopped. It heard me. I'm going to talk about what I would see you in the gym then versus now.
Sure.
Um, before we had like, okay, here are your sessions. It's twice a week. We're doing an upper and a lower. Before that, you would still come to the gym inconsistently days of the week. You would just kind of make it work when you could.
Yeah.
You'd come in and kind of fluff around. There was no
I had no like, and this is also part of like me living with ADHD. It's hard for me to
Yeah.
plan ahead.
Yes. So you'd come in and you do like certain movements. And if I asked, like, okay, like, what are you working on today? You're like, I don't know. I'm just like fucking doing something. Like, shut
Yeah,
up, leave me alone.
moving
Almost always skipping
something.
legs.
Yeah, because legs.
So when we talked about you like coming in and being a little bit more consistent and me designing your programming, um, you just kind of have to show up now and it's already ready for you. I have your weights recorded for you from the last time. Um, what sort of progress or gains have you seen since fluffing about versus having a program to follow?
I definitely feel stronger now than I've felt probably in my entire adult life.
Hmm.
I think I'm also leaner than I've ever been, and like my kind of everything is better.
Yeah.
I definitely like, I don't think I notice the progress in terms of adding weight, but I know that there has been because things feel like I'm moving heavier weights.
Hmm. What's your take on repeat movements?
I actually kind of en- enjoy coming in, having things set up, and kind of having a couple of things that are the same or similar each time that
Yeah.
I do either upper or lower.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think I pay enough attention to what it is that I'm doing to know that I'm
Fair.
doing repeat
Fair.
movements
Yeah.
week to week.
And I think like I'm like referring to like a barbell squat, like
Yeah,
that will always be a part of a leg day.
yeah,
Your leg press, that will always be a part of your leg day, or extensions or curls or some variation of those, but
yeah.
making
Well,
sure.
it's important to note that prior to working with you and doing this program, that was not the case.
For
Leg
sure.
day was not always squats. Leg day might be like I might do 10 lunges and like a couple of sets on the leg press and maybe a couple of extensions or curls and
Yeah.
then call it a day.
Yeah.
And
And
training is
never
different now.
and never having the weights to know, like you were never conscious of how much weight you were moving around when you're grabbing
No.
your dumbbells or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so being able to know and aim for a little bit more. I kind of want to relate that back to boot camp. Not that you come to boot camp,
Yeah.
but for the you sometimes you do.
And then you tell me never to come back for 6 months and then I'll come back and do one and get uninvited again.
Sometimes boot camps can be hard because they're a little faster paced. Um, but it is important for people to know and have an awareness about what weights they should be grabbing for each movement, if it's a squat, if it's
Mhm,
whatever,
mhm.
or even where to set the cables. Even in a group session, you should still be able to do that and to be able to know and to then be able to progress from that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't pay enough attention to stuff to know that. So I think that's why I don't really enjoy boot camps because I will grab heavier than I should for a 40-second period of
Right.
work.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And different, your personal training is about reps
Yeah.
and like a group fitness is about,
Time.
yeah. Okay. Sorry, my phone turned off. Ooh, what's harder? Pushing through a tough workout or sitting with uncomfortable emotions?
A tough workout.
It's harder.
Oh yeah.
Okay, can you
It
share with the class?
it takes a lot more mental energy for me to push through a really tough workout than it does for me to understand emotion.
What do you think if you were to ask me that question?
Oh, it's 100% the emotion. I think that's part of why like we gel so well together is like we have that sort of opposite stuff. Like my strengths I have and your strengths we make up for each other's weaknesses.
Did you strength train as a young adult or a teen?
Yes.
What did that look like?
Well, I was fairly active as a teen. I wouldn't say a young adult. I think when things happened in my childhood and I was on my
I
own.
have to sneeze.
Oh no.
Excuse me. Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna edit that out, don't worry.
Okay.
um what was I saying?
Sorry about strength training as a teen or a.
Oh, I think like up until the point of 17 when things happened and I was out on my own, um, I was like heavily involved in sports. I played hockey, I played basketball,
But strength training.
and part of that was doing strength training.
Within like your high school
Yeah.
gym kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Did you take gym as long as you like throughout your entire high school?
As long as I could, yeah.
I guess that's every year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did like the optional outdoor gym stuff related classes to orienteering and that kind of stuff.
Curveball, new question. Do you give forehead kisses?
I think so.
That was Chantel from Bite Kind.
I think that's probably a good question for you to answer, but I think so because I'm taller than you.
Yeah, wow. Remember when we were at the grocery store yesterday and the little short lady,
Oh my God.
she asked you to get her like a bottle of pop or something, and then she's like, "You're tall," and then she looked at me and went, "You're tall too."
Yeah. I need someone that's over 6 feet to help me, she said. But she really just couldn't reach. That happens to me all the time at the store, actually.
Okay. What's it like being married to someone whose career is built around fitness?
Hmm.
Be honest.
That was a long pause. I'm in trouble already. Um, the first word that came to my mind, and I'm sorry for how this sounds, exhausting.
That's not a bad thing. It is exhausting.
Yeah.
Totally.
It feels like there is always, always something that needs to be done and needs to be done like yesterday. And that can feel exhausting.
So are you meaning are you thinking about being married to someone who has a business, we have a business, or just my career is built around fitness?
So I would say it's more the first one. Your career being built around fitness, like, I don't know, that doesn't bother me at all. It actually, like, it's something that we kind of have in
Yeah.
common.
Yeah.
Like, your fitness is much more like the running, strength training, gym life,
Mhm.
and mine is much more the sports focused, but they're the same thing, just in different ways.
Yeah, and we don't very often work out together. We don't really.
We used to, but like
Our schedules are just quite different.
our schedules are different, but also the way in which we train and what we train for is so different that it doesn't make sense for us to do workouts together.
For sure. Okay, so the first
Mhm.
when you didn't answer the right question, what do you think people don't see about running a gym?
The amount of work that's involved,
Yeah.
the amount,
Going back to exhaustion.
yeah, the amount of people that reach out for their own individual stuff, and when you have like 200 to 300 individual people that like come for stuff,
Yeah.
those like those requests, those needs can, like, there are a lot of them,
Yeah.
and they can take up, they don't, the request for you to put into a list for me takes time for you, but the time in the back
Yeah.
end is like almost exclusively all me.
Yeah, and I would definitely say that people don't
They don't
realize
see
that they don't see the number of people and the volume of people that come through the doors, request and require programming, check-ins, all of that. But I think kudos to us that people don't see that. Like
hmm Yeah, we make it seem fairly seamless,
yeah, like,
and fairly easy, and like all people have to do is send a message to you in some way, email or social media or text.
but sometimes they come, "Hey, Kate, I mean, Josh."
Yeah, yes, yeah,
They know.
yeah.
Um, what is something about me as a coach that you admire?
How much you care.
Okay.
I think that, and this is true for anyone that provides any sort of support or service to people, it can be really easy to turn off that care.
Mhm. Mhm.
Just in terms of self-preservation.
Mhm.
And you don't turn that care off even when you should.
Even when I should. Yeah. Um, something that we have talked about a few times is just one of the challenges of being that support person
Mm,
for a lot of people, professionally and personally,
yeah.
um, when you ask someone like how they are, how it's very few and far between where the replies are, "Oh, I'm good. I'm great."
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about me in the work that I do.
Yes.
When would I, if I hear someone say I'm good, I'm great, that's actually a red flag for me. Like I'm
They're hiding
concerned.
something.
I'm concerned at that point
Yeah.
because you don't come to talk to me unless there's something wrong. So I don't hear a lot of positivity. And I think this goes back to like the beginning of the discussion. Not hearing a lot of positivity from people can skew your perception of the world and skew it towards, well, the world is full of negativity. It's a bad place. People are always struggling. And that is truly not the case.
Yeah.
But it's up to you to find avenues, find outlets that give you a different world perception. And that's why when I say, like, I go to my sports and it recharges my battery, I play my sports and win or lose, I'm still in
And you still go back the next time.
yeah,
Like you,
I'm going and I'm gonna have time with the team and I'm disconnecting from the harsh world that I work in during the day, or like we go on our trips, or we go to the city, or we go shopping, or I like, or we go golfing, or I sit and I read a book and actually just completely disconnect
yeah.
from things.
Yeah.
Like there are so many different little things that I do for me, or we do, or I do with other people that allow me to keep a healthy perspective of the world. So I'm not sitting there going, everything sucks. Everyone is struggling.
Yeah.
The world is awful,
Yeah.
because that's not a great place to be in.
No.
You're not going to want to do anything if that's how
Exactly.
you
It's
feel the world is.
it's a it's leading to someone down to like a really bad negative spiral. Sorry,
Yeah.
words are hard.
And just creating a sense of hopelessness and helplessness. And we're not hopeless and we're not
Right.
helpless.
Right.
You can find ways
Those
to,
same hopeless and helpless thoughts that that person has, it's the same person who wants to see all of this progress. And when you feel hopeless and helpless, but yet want to see progress, it's never going to happen.
no.
Never going to happen.
No, as long as you maintain that hopeless and helplessness, change can feel impossible. And if it feels impossible, it's not going to happen at that time.
Yeah. I think people already know the answer to this, but let's hear it from you. What role do you think you actually play behind the scenes at KLT Fit?
I just keep things moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do payroll, you do
Yeah.
90% of the mind body
Yeah.
updates, rollout.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
do our
the
taxes.
scheduling, taxes, almost all of the financial stuff, um, maintenance around the gym.
Mhm.
Yeah. Kind of one
The
off.
honey-do lists.
Yeah, the honey-do list, and also just like one-off discussions when something might happen around the gym, and chatting with whoever was involved and
Yeah.
kind of doing debriefs and that kind of stuff.
What's your favorite part about being involved in the gym?
That's a good question. There's a lot of things that I really enjoy about being involved in the gym, but I think the community itself is something that I really have a lot of pride in being a part of, because it is a really good community of people that like friendships blossom
Mhm.
out of,
Mhm.
and like there's a lot of care and love and support and compassion, like a lot of the values that we have
Mhm.
come out in that community
And I
through
think
other
that's
people.
who
And
we attract as well.
yeah, it's
Um,
nice to see.
we've been having a lot of conversations lately about like who are our people? What is our niche? Who
Yeah.
are the people that are coming through the doors?
Hmm.
Um, so be careful with this question.
Okay.
Um, where do you see the gym evolving and what role will you have in it?
So no spoilers,
No spoilers.
because there's some exciting things in the works.
Yes.
But I think that growth is a part of it. I think that um, being able to support more people,
Mhm.
build the community bigger, um, have more to offer, have maybe some specialized things to
Mhm.
offer.
Mhm.
Like those kinds of things are things that I look at in the future. I also think that it would be nice if I could be more involved or maybe do some training. I don't know.
Ooh, I would love for you to become certified.
Yeah.
Take on some clients.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm certifiable.
Oh, certifiable gangster. Okay, I'm flip-flopping back and forth. Okay, this one, seriously, we said ask you me and ask you anything and I will ask you anything.
Hmm.
Um, this one, she wants to make you squirm,
Good.
but I think in a roundabout way she wants me to squirm.
Sure.
Um, uh,
Do you want me to read it for you? Can you even say the words?
no.
This is great. I love this. To
F,
be honest, you're not going to make me squirm.
F you, Paulette. Does your ADHD affect your sex life in positive ways or negative ways?
Before I answer this, I'm going to ask you, how much detail can I get into
Not much.
without you throwing up?
Yeah, not much.
um, it 100% affects our sex life.
Great answer. Moving on.
No, I'm not done. Um, I, First, I'll say, and I think after I answer this, I will talk little bit about what it's like for me to live with ADHD.
Mhm.
But the first real way that I think I ever noticed that ADHD was affecting our sex life or my sex life in any way was when I was starting to, as an adult, to figure out what medication worked for me.
Mhm.
And I want to say that it was Vyvanse that I was taking at the time, and it made my sex drive completely vanish. And it wasn't until you came to me and said, "You know what? Do you remember the last time we had sex? You cannot crawl under the
Crawling
table."
under the table.
And it was just so not on my mind, and it became, this is a side effect of the medication. Like, this is what's happening with this medication. It has completely taken that away from me. And then realizing that there were a number of other side effects that were also happening and discontinuing that medication. But I think when not medicated, and even now when medicated, I think the negative ways that it impacts me is I can be easily distracted by things. And if my train of thought during sex gets distracted, it can create intimacy issues between us where I feel like I'm disconnected from what's happening, and it becomes challenging to stay in the moment. And that's like just me being real and honest.
Thanks, honey.
Less so now that I'm taking my medication, for sure. Um, and it's been something that we've worked on together and figured out. I think that
Stop.
the other side to this is,
Make it stop.
sorry, I'm not stopping. Your person asked this question and you spit it out.
She's supposed to be my friend.
I'm going to answer this fully.
She's gonna listen to this driving along drive.
She's gonna have tears streaming down her face because you've now tried to crawl under the table. You've had a couple of gag moments.
And she can picture it. She will
Yes.
picture this. She'll be listening while she's driving, but she will picture this.
Yeah. The other side to it is with ADHD for me, I can go through periods where I have a really high sex drive, and it's something that like becomes a hyper focus for me at times. And Kate's ready to change the topic again. So before we go on,
Oh my God.
before we go on to the next, let's talk about what ADHD looks like for me.
Perfect.
So,
Without the word sex.
without the word sex.
Okay.
So before I talk about what my perception of it is, let's hear from you. Before I found the medication I'm on now, what life was like living with me day to day.
Um, I don't know if it's the right way to put it, but it was chaotic.
Yeah.
Like you were chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, very distracted, absent-minded. Um,
Were there times for you when it felt like I didn't care about, like, the small things?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and there were times where it felt like, "Fuck, like, am I your fucking babysitter? I'm not your fucking mother."
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. Some examples of things that I can definitely remember,
What
eh
is this? There's a person staring in the gym right there.
whatever. Um, couple of things that I think I can remember really quite well, would be, like, leaving cupboards open, not putting things away, leaving
Mhm.
laundry laying about,
The
not
laundry beside the laundry basket.
yeah, not putting things away often, um, not remembering that I needed to do certain things, missing appointments.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of those things that I can remember that kind of caused conflict between us at times. And conflict is kind of a strong word. It was more of a, I could just tell you were getting frustrated
Yeah,
with it.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever really had any big fights about things that I would do because of having ADHD. I
Yeah, I don't
think
think
it
so.
was like, thankfully, you were quite patient with me.
So distracting.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Um, aside from that, uh, I think the chaos is something that I can really identify well with, and I've spent a lot of time trying to explain what my experience with ADHD has been like. And there's two different ways I like to explain it. One is, if you imagine a running track
Uh-huh.
and you start at your start line,
Uh-huh.
I would go from the start line to the other side of the track, to back or near the start line, to another corner of the track, to the back of the track, to the front of the track, to the side, to the side, to the side. And eventually I'd get to it's bedtime and I'm at the finish line. I have no fucking clue how I got there.
Uh-huh.
That's one way of how it would happen for me. The second way is, it's almost like at any given moment, I have 15 TV screens going on in my mind,
Okay.
and they're all my different thoughts. And I could never pick the one I was supposed to focus on at that time. It was just all of them at maximum volume all the time.
And you describe it when you got put on the right dose of medication, everything just
I could control the volume on
yeah.
all of those TV screens. It was like I could mute all of them except for the one I needed to focus on,
Mhm.
and I could tell which one it was that I
Yeah.
needed to focus on.
Yeah.
And so that sort of chaos of thought went away. And it also helped me to be able to stay in the lane on the track as I go through my day, rather than pure randomness of, I have no idea how I went all the way around this track of the day.
Okay. Next question. Do you think competition is healthy?
I think that you have to be someone that enjoys competition for it to be healthy.
Okay. Good take.
For me, yes, I think competition is healthy and helpful for me, because it helps me to feel like there is a meaning behind a goal.
Okay.
For you, I think competition is not healthy, because you will, one, get really upset with yourself, but also the people you're competing against.
Yeah, I think competition makes me feel really uncomfortable and I unless the competition is with myself, I will compete against myself, hence
Yes.
why I run.
But then it's not really like a
For sure,
competition.
for
You're
sure.
just trying
Yeah,
for your own personal
but
best.
the idea of competing like in a game of hockey
Yeah.
gives me the total
For
ick.
me, if I lose, it just means that the next time I need to try harder. And it gives me motivation to come back stronger and better than I was before.
When do you feel most like yourself?
Hmm. When I am doing something, and it doesn't matter what it is that I'm doing, I am somebody that does not sit, and you can say this really well. I don't sit idly well. I have to physically be doing something all the time. I can't just sit on a beach chair and not do anything.
You turn into a splashy thing. But I will say something that still baffles me and blows my mind. If you are sitting idle for a brief moment and I ask you, what are you thinking about?
Nothing.
You say that you literally have nothing going on that you're thinking about and going on in your brain.
Yeah. And to be fair, there are times when I can just have that blank. They're not very often. Usually what it is all the TVs are on and it's easier to say nothing because I'm
Mhm.
not actually thinking
Okay.
about any of
Okay.
them. It's
Fair.
just like static in my head.
Because anytime you've said nothing, I'm like, what is that like to not have
I,
anything? Like, what?
I have,
I'm
yeah,
always thinking about the next 14 things to come.
yeah, that never happens for me. I can't, for me, it's not that I can't. It's, well, maybe it is a little bit of I can't, but my brain doesn't work in a way where I'm going to think of things in sequential order
Mhm,
or even in terms of I know I have, A, B, C, D to do. That never happens
mhm.
for me. It's like I will do the thing, and thankfully, medication means that I can focus on the thing and get it done all the way. But it's the thing in front of me is the only thing that really exists. And then I'm on to the next thing.
What scares you about getting older? You're almost 40 now,
No,
darling.
no, I'm not. I'm 29 plus
10.
seven or so.
Okay, what scares you most about getting older?
Um, I think just the concept of death and dying scares me a lot. It's like I'm not anywhere near there, but it's also like,
How does that work?
no, it's not even how does that work? Like, and I apologize for anyone that does have religion, but I'm not a religious person.
Mhm.
And so for me, the idea of death and dying means the same thing to me as my concept of what was around before I was born.
Mhm.
And it's nothingness. So, like that, I'm just not ready for nothingness.
If you stripped away your job titles, hobbies, and roles, who are you?
Job titles, hobbies, and roles. So this would be really speaking to my values as a person. I'm a caring, kind, compassionate person who genuinely wants everyone to be able to live their best life, whatever that means for them, not what it means for what I think it should be.
What kind of legacy do you want to leave? Not career and professionally, but just as a human.
I'd like to think that I'm known as somebody that brings warmth to people's lives. That I think ultimately, if I'm thinking about how I would want people to remember me, I'd want people to remember me as someone that cared and brought a little bit of happiness or joy into their life.
I've three more questions,
Sure,
and they're going to be like our closing, more reflective,
sure.
hopefully thought provoking for the viewers if they haven't been already. Um, what's the best way to get yourself or someone up when you've been like, it says down, down, down?
That's a great question. I think you have to ask yourself how down, down, down are you? And ask yourself this one question honestly: are you able to do it on your own? I think, we talk about this in so many different ways in a lot of the podcasts, but connection is really important and it can help.
Mhm.
But sometimes that's also just a piece of the puzzle. And where the starting point for each person is going to be wildly different and dependent on your own circumstances and also who you are. It could be that there's a brain chemistry thing happening, and that until that is solved with a medication, things aren't going to be possible to
Right.
get out of that down, 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 low, low, low. It could be that things have happened in your life to you to bring you to that down, 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 low, low, low.
Hmm.
And until you work through those, talk to someone or do some kind of therapy to change the way in which you perceive the world because of those things, it's not going to improve. And it might just be a scenario where, for me, the thing that I tell myself when I have that low mood is get up, do something.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like I literally just say exactly that to myself. I could let myself just sit and stew in it, but get up and just do something.
Um, Again, I feel like you answered the next question too, but you might have another little spin to put on it. If someone listening is struggling, be it physically or mentally, what do you want them to hear from you today?
Help exists.
Mm.
Reach out for it. There is no shame in it. I like to think of myself as a fairly successful person. Would I be able to live just fine without medication? I probably was living just fine.
Yeah.
A lot of annoying things, but
And a lot of annoying just fine.
yeah, and but really, was I thriving? Probably not to my full potential.
Hmm.
And am I still able to be at my full potential? Maybe not. But I'm happy with where things are at for me now. Like there are times when you can see that I'm scattered.
Hmm.
I've lost the control of things, and you'll usually tell me them.
Yep.
But
My job.
yeah, but overall, I'd want people to hear that there is help out there and reach out for it, use it, whatever it looks like. Like I have talked to a therapist.
Mhm.
I have a therapist that I can meet with and do and utilize that support when it's needed. I see my doctor and I take medication for my mental health.
Mhm. No shame in that.
There is no shame in,
Especially just as you said, when you're now happy with where you are,
yeah,
it's all worth it.
it is all
It's
worth it.
all worth it.
Yeah.
Um, Last one. What's one belief about strength? You talked about strength way back, question number one, that you hope people rethink or take away from this conversation?
I think it kind of goes back to how I redefine strength from watching my dad be very physically strong to now recognizing that there are more than just physical strength components to overall strength and emotional intelligence, willpower, discipline are things that I think fall into that strength category. Also, perseverance, a willingness to accept pain, because in life, like we can choose the pain that we want to live in. We can say, my back is sore, my knee is sore, and we're not doing anything about it. Sure, you can just live in that pain forever,
Yeah.
but you can also move your body. Yes, it's going to hurt more, but you are now choosing that pain
Mhm.
instead of passively
Yeah.
letting it run your life.
Um,
I
and I think you don't have to be strong all the time. It may feel like,
think the biggest strength is being able to say I'm not strong enough and reaching out for that help.
yeah, but I'm even meaning from day to day. One day you could feel totally strong in whatever that capacity is. The next day, not so much.
Yeah, it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Like that, every single person, this is universal, is going to have bad days.
Hmm.
Not every day is sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops.
Totally isn't.
No, there are days that just suck. There are shitty things that happen in
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And
What matters is what you do next.
yeah,
What happens next?
the next save. It's all you can control.
Oh, mic drop.
Like it really is kind of a philosophy in life for me that came out of playing hockey at a young age.
Hmm.
And there are a couple of things that I remember from playing hockey at a young age. I had a coach when I was younger because I used to get really upset with myself when I would let a goal in and would really beat myself up if we lost. And then I had a coach tell me people wouldn't play hockey if they couldn't score goals. And that kind of just like, as a kid, blew my mind.
Hmm.
As a kid that was a goalie, people wouldn't play hockey if they couldn't score goals.
Yeah.
People wouldn't be physically active if they couldn't get strong. People wouldn't set goals if they couldn't fail. Like there is the risk of failure.
Mhm.
Th- But it also makes the accomplishment that much more.
Right, right.
I wouldn't play in a game where I could win or lose if it didn't have the potential to feel really good if I win or motivate me if I lose.
Great job. I think people are gonna love this episode. You wrote in and replied with, "No one's gonna have any questions."
Yes, I did.
And they did.
They did have questions. I think it's interesting because this wasn't what I was expecting it to be about. I
Interesting.
think I think it's interesting that it was a lot about my perspective on like the world or how I live my life, how I carry myself, what I do. I was expecting it to be like a lot more because I have kind of a really interesting fucking story too, in terms of like my life.
Yep.
And I was expecting it to be some of that.
Well, it's hard to know if you wanna tap into that.
Yeah, like I mean, talked a little bit about my childhood and that struggle, but like when I talk about my dad, he's my dad in all intents and purposes because he's my dad, but he's not my biological dad.
Uh-huh.
I really never knew my biological dad. And over the last few years, after doing DNA testing, I've gotten to know siblings that live in another country that I'm super crazy close with
Yeah.
and couldn't imagine my life without now. And that story is so unique and cool and also completely unbelievable.
Um,
And like for me, like the closest three people in my life are you and my two sisters.
uh-huh.
Like Nicole and Kendall are
And you didn't know
right
Kendall
after
up
you.
until a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's it it's wild. Not that I don't love my brothers or my other sister Michelle. It's like Nicole and Kendall work really hard to have a good special
Yeah.
relationship with me in their own
You're
ways.
the big brother to them.
And yeah, I just can't imagine life without either of them now.
Mhm.
When things are good and when things are bad, they are the people that I reach out to after you.
Good. Is there anything else you wanna talk about?
I don't think so. Hopefully people made it through at least 5 minutes of
They
this nonsense.
did, the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm not that interesting.
Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, comment, 5-star reviews.
This will be the 1-star review.
Stop. This is our Josh, one of the faces behind KLT Fit.
Yeah,
A really important role.
yeah. It's also interesting. Like we didn't really talk a lot about what it was like for me seeing you struggle with leaving the school board or seeing you struggle.
There's lots more episodes.
Yeah, because like that was also an interesting process to go through of tears from you and me being like, what the fuck are you even thinking? Why are you not doing this?
Why are you still going to the school every day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that can be another episode.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for enduring.
It was great. They'll love it. They'll love it.